All right, guys, we are back. The year is 2022. This is my first show of the new year where I'll be previewing one championship card. Last year, I started with previewing one championship cards. We had a really, really good year with our picks and our predictions. I finished really strong at the end of the year. Hopefully, that will continue in 2022. I'm really excited for what we have coming in 2022. The first card that we're looking at is one championship heavy hitters that goes down this Friday, January 14th in Singapore. You can check out the action, 8:30 a.m. East Coast time in the United States. You can, if you live in the United States, you head over to Bleacher Report. You can check it out there, BleacherReport.com. Check out Bleacher Report's app. Check out Bleacher Report's YouTube. You can watch it all those places. If you live outside the United States, you're going to have to go over to the One Championship website, go to the events section, see what they have listed under your designated country. Guys, the way I do these preview shows, One Championship, if you're not familiar with it, it's one of the top MMA organizations in the world, particularly in the Asian market. They have MMA fights, but they also sometimes showcase kickboxing, and sometimes they showcase Muay Thai. This is just previewing the MMA fights, and it's also just previewing the main card just because of being time sensitive and just pure getting, my week schedule, just trying to cram all those fights in will be tough. So this card I think it's a really good way to kick off the 2022 year. We have the Women's Flyweight Championship on the line in the main event. We also have two other MMA fights on the main card. So this is what I do. I usually break down the skill sets of the fighters, then I give a prediction. So let's get right into it. Before I start, I want to say, if I pronounce any fighter's name wrong, it's no disrespect. It's an absolute mistake. I'm not doing it purposely. I apologize. I don't mean to disrespect anybody. Just sometimes those international fighters a little hard to pronounce. But let's get into it. First fight, we have Senzo Ikeda versus Jeremy Miyato. This is a really, really fun action fight. I'll start with Ikeda. Ikeda is a Japanese fighter, 39 years old, so you don't really like that. But though he's, getting up there in age, 39, he's a good fighter. He's a good action fighter. He's a high output striker. Works behind a busy jab. Really works, in the outside with a busy jab, I should say. When he gets in the inside in the pocket, that's really where he unloads. Really steps into his shots. He does make the snake of loading up on his shots, so you can kind of telegraph some takedowns on him and stuff. But if he was in the pocket, you look for the combination. Look for his uppercut. He really likes landing that. Some negatives about him: he stands up a little too tall for my liking. He also drops his hands, and he doesn't throw many kicks, or really no kicks at all. But if he gets in the Muay Thai clinch, you got a lot of the good knees up the middle to watch out for. As far as the grappling, weak takedown defense, but he's pretty tough to hold down. He works his way up. He's got good cardio. He can go deep into a fight. And he has a really good chin. I mean, this guy's been in a lot of wars and taken a lot of damage and hasn't been able to withstand and not get knocked out. Is a little concerning, though, being that he's taken on, he's taken so much damage. Move over to Miyato. Miyato is a really hot fighter right now. Looked really good in his last fight. He's a long and lengthy fighter that works well from distance. He has the rare ability to land strikes while backing up. He's accurate. He's got really good power. We saw that in his last fight. He obviously showed his athleticism when he hit a flying knee off of Miao, who has actually been his opponent for his last two fights, where he got two knockouts over Miao. And he's well-rounded, though. He'll go for takedowns. He likes body lock, clinch takedowns. He's good at winning scrambles. Once on top, he looks to advance position, likes to, look for subs off from on top, but also if you reverse and he's on bottom, he can throw up some triangles and arm bars. He actually almost armbarred Miao in their very first contest, and Miao's known for his grappling. So as far as prediction go, stylistically, this is a really, really fun fight. I just expect it to be a back and forth scrap, Both guys like to throw down. I could see Miyato actually winning the fight if he just went to his wrestling, but I don't think he does that. I think he stands and bangs with him, and he's looked so sharp in his last fight and his last two fights, but especially his last fight in the rematch. Miyato, the adjustments he made, he was one step ahead the entire fight. I think he finds the chin of Ikeda, which is a pretty bold statement considering I was just talking about Ikeda's ability to withstand damage. But Miyato's on a different level right now. He's red hot. I think he finds a chin about the second round. Give me Miyato to kick off 2022 with a bang, with a knockout. Moving over to a really intriguing fight. We have former LFA welterweight champion James Nakashima taking on, and I'm going to struggle with this name, Saygid Izagakhmaev. I think it's Izagakhmaev. Izagakhmaev, I think is how you pronounce it. I tried it a couple times. I struggle a little bit, but Nakashima is someone, if you're a real hardcore fan, you're probably familiar with James Nakashima from his days in LFA. He also, obviously, he's been in one championship for a while, been in some pretty big fights, including his last fight against Shinya Aoki. I tend to think of Nakashima as a prospect, but he's 33, so he's not really young anymore. So he really isn't a prospect. He's kind of a finished product at this point. MMA lab product. He is on a 2-fight losing streak, lost to some good guys. His last fight he took on Shinya Aoki was submitted in the very first round, which obviously Aoki isn't the fighter he used to be, but he can still really grapple. He's one of the greatest submission grapplers in the history of the sport. Back to Nakashima, though. Nakashima, he's on the feet. He's southpaw. Very basic boxing. 1-2. Not many combinations. Nothing really jumps out at you. He tends to be kind of slow. He tends to lack power. But his bread and butter is his wrestling. He's a really good wrestler. This is a junior college national champion. After junior college, he moved over to Nebraska, wrestled for Division I, one of the top Division I schools in America. He has shown in the past, going back to his LFA days, that he can go 25 minutes. So a 15-minute affair shouldn't be much of an issue for him. One negative, though, is he has a decision machine. When he gets to his wrestling, he will stall out on top. He'll just hold down his opponent, not do much, kind of lay and pray. So there's times where he can be kind of, if we're being honest, he can be a little boring. Move over to let me try this again. Izagakhmaev, I think is how you say it. I apologize again. I know I'm saying his name wrong. 27-year-old Russian fighter, making his one championship debut. What I've seen him on film, very well-rounded. He tends to switch stances a lot. It'll kind of get his opponent guessing. Throw a combination one stance, quickly go to the orthodox combination over to southpaw. He's a bit slow-paced in the fact that he just really slow. I don't know. He just one strike at a time. He wants a slower pace fight, I guess, on the feet. But he likes to box inside. If he gets inside, he likes to throw his hands inside. From the outside, it's a lot more kicks. He's got fast kicks, good dexterity on his legs, where he can just snap up a high kick pretty quick. He is an Eagles MMA product, so obviously he can wrestle. He's got good timing on his reactionary double, strong top control, good back takes, and unlike Nakashima, he can finish the fight, particularly with submissions. He's got 12 submission wins in his career, including a submission win in his last fight. As far as prediction goes, I'm going to take Izagakhmaev. He's the younger fighter. He's the more well-rounded fighter, and I just simply, and I hate these kind of breakdowns, but in this case, I think it really fits. I think that wrestlers are going to cancel each other out, and it's going to be one of two things. Either we have two guys clinching a lot against the fence when nothing happened, which is a fight that I think James Nakashima would like, or we have a outside, slower-paced kickboxing match, and I actually think that favors Izagakhmaev. So both positions, I think, Izagakhmaev can at least hang there. So with that said, I'll take the guy who's younger and probably still improving and adding tools to his game. So give me the Russian to win his one championship in a pretty good performance if you take out a guy like James Nakashima. So give me Izagakhmaev by decision. And our last fight, guys, to close up the show. Like I said, this is a shorter show than most of the time. Obviously, the rest of the year we'll probably have more than 3 MMA fights on the card. But I think we have a great fight in the main event. We have Zhang Ganong taking on Ayaka Miura. I apologize. I know I probably butchered both of those names. Jingnan is better known as the Panda. She is the flyweight champion of the world, 33 years old, really well-rounded. She's a good striker, very aggressive on the feet, compact boxer where she just wants to get in the pocket, unload some big shots, great snap on her shots, throws power combinations, hooks, uppercuts, damaging. Her best strike probably is her left hook. She really whips it at her opponent. She'll go downstairs to the body, targets the body. When she can get a little too aggressive at times though and lose some technique, which is not good. But another thing that she does, if she's not getting the pocket, sometimes she'll want to be a little. It seems like she's being defensive, and she'll start moving away and circling away and kind of forcing her opponent to chase her. And what she's doing is pulling her into her power shots, and then suddenly she'll stop on dime, or even better, she'll meet her opponent at the point of contact and beat her to the punch and land power shots. Something really impressive. Something I think could work out really well in this fight. Add in, she's got some good leg kicks. She tends to struggle checking leg kicks. That's something that Tiffany Teo had some success with her, though. Not the best grappler. She needs to improve her takedown defense, but she's pretty good when it hits the ground to get her hips to continue moving, kind of cause a scramble, sometimes win the scramble. If she's on top, good top control, strong ground and pound, and she's got a lot of experience in championship fights. She has a cardio to go 25 minutes, she like that. Now move over to Miura. Miura is 31 years old, from Japan. On the feet, it's kind of ugly. She ducks her head and kind of just swings. Ugly haymakers, reaching. She's just looking to throw just to close the distance as quickly as possible, where she can do her work inside, where she is a judo expert. She wants to get inside. She'll either throw that headlock, or she'll throw just get inside and just do some judo throws. The fight hits the ground. She's a submission specialist. 7 submission wins in her career. It's funny because she goes for submission, but you don't see that often. Like, she loves the scarf hold. She got multiple scarf hold submissions. She also likes Americana, which is a submission. She's got like 3 or 4 Americana submissions. One thing I don't like about her grappling, though, is that she tends to give up her back when it hits the ground. When you go for those high risk throws, one thing that happens is you have the back. Like, if you miss the scarf hold, your opponent can take your back. She's also never going 25 minutes. She's never been in a 25-minute fight, so I don't like that. So get to the prediction. If Miura can get the fight to the ground, she really has a shot. I just think Jiang is... Excuse me. I think she has really good footwork. I think she can use that footwork to stay on her bike, to continue moving, to kind of be a moving target. From there, landing shots when Miura gets in her range. I think she does that. I think she stops a lot of takedown attempts. She might get taken down, but I think she'll find the ability to avoid a submission, scramble the feet, win the exchanges on the feet. I like her winning the exchanges big, and I think she stops the fight too. I think she takes up Miura. I'm gonna say she gets it done in the 3rd round. So, Jingnan is the champion. She remains a champion and starts off 2022 with a real bang. So there you guys have it. Those are my 3 picks for the fight. A couple things you can do for me in 2022. If you watch this whole show, like it. Obviously, subscribe to the Sherdog channel. We have a lot of exciting things coming up on the YouTube page. We have commentary, predictions, a little interviews, a bunch of everything that we're just going to continue to grow. So please like it, leave a comment, subscribe, do all that good stuff. Share it with your friends. And check out the fights on Friday morning, and hit me up on Twitter. It's at Keith. My last name is Shillan, Shillan, and the word MMA, or the abbreviation MMA, on Twitter. So it's at Keith Shillan MMA on Twitter. Hit me up during the fights. Let's talk about it throughout the event. And thanks for watching, guys.